While labor can obviously be extremely difficult for expectant mothers, it can also be a stressful, nerve-wracking time for expectant dads. Making sure you've got everything ready, calming your partner down, trying not to faint yourself, it's not easy. And if it's a particularly long labor, it can be an even more challenging time. You'll probably find yourself sitting in an uncomfortable hospital chair for hours on end, getting some kip on the hospital's even more uncomfortable floor, and twiddling your thumbs a lot. But one lad tried to make the process a lot more relaxing for himself by bringing the laptop and a copy of Football Manager with him. Matt Penrose managed to get in an 18-hour session of FM while his fiancée experienced a grueling 38-hour labor. The 24-year-old has told SBO Bible the story of what happened after receiving the call to inform him that labor had begun. She went into labor the night Brighton played Charlton in a friendly at the Valley, so she actually had to drive herself to the hospital as I was at the game, Matt said. I got the train to Brighton to see her, and once they said he wasn't going to be born that evening, I headed home to get some essentials, including my laptop. Once I'd got back to the hospital and opened up the laptop, she said, typical Matt, and just rolled her eyes. Matt's partner, Grace, could have been forgiven for flipping out after seeing him fire up FM and get to work on helping an imaginary Lazio side win an imaginary Scudetto. But she insists she wasn't annoyed, just a bit embarrassed. I wasn't annoyed that he was playing it. It was a long and stressful labor, as was the pregnancy, and I'm sure that's what got him through it, Grace added. He stopped when I needed him to, but he continued to keep me updated on how his team is doing, regardless of how many times I tell him I don't care. When he opened his laptop and said that he was going to play Football Manager, I wasn't even surprised. It's the story of my life. As for Matt, well, he made the most of the opportunity to boost his virtual managerial CV. She was in labor for 38 hours, so I managed to get about half a season played, he said. That was my 4th season in charge of Lazio. The first 3 ended in a 3rd place finish, a 2nd place finish, and finally I managed to get my hands on the Scudetto in my 3rd season, he said. I ended up playing for another season, which resulted in another Scudetto. I finished my time at Lazio with 2 Serie A titles, an Italian Cup, an Italian Super Cup and a Europa League. Not only that, but little Hugo was born safe and well. Both mother and baby were fine following the arduous labor. Despite her partner's obsession, Grace still intends to marry Matt, even though she confessed that she can't stand FM. My thoughts on Football Manager are genuinely that I hate it, she admitted. It is constantly on, as well as football being on the TV, too. It causes so much emotion from Matt. He'll just celebrate out of nowhere and wake the baby up, or he'll be in such a foul mood that I can't even talk to him. But I love him more than I hate the game, and I can't wait to marry him, with our slightly football-themed wedding. Maybe leave the laptop at home for the honeymoon, Matt.